Hello everybody, my son's over here at my house today. We're going to be taking this tiller apart. I got this tiller really cheap, but what happened is this shaft here is froze up. It's a common problem with these, and that's how I got this so cheap, is the shaft's frozen up. We're gonna have to take this gear case apart and get this shaft out and free it up. It rusts right here. This is a Craftsman 5 horsepower, has a Honda engine on it, runs good, but the shaft won't let you rotate it and shift. Here's the shifting lever right here that goes on there, and we're gonna have to take this case apart, get the shaft out, free it up, and put it back together. So as we get it tore apart, I'll show you more of the process here in a little bit. All right, there's the tiller. We got it stripped down that far. It took us about 10 minutes. Got the engine off, got the wheels off, the belt cover, there's the pulley and all that stuff. Now we got to go and get this tiller, the actual tiller tines and this cover off, so we can split this case right here. We'll separate this case. I think we're gonna have to take these counterweights off and take this apart so we can get that shaft out. So I'll get this off and we'll go from there. See you in a bit. All right, everybody, I got the two halves pulled apart. See all that? That was water that was in this gearbox. You can see all the wetness in there, the nasty grease. And the problem with these is this is where the shift lever attaches to the shaft. That's what does the shifting, is this thing. There's a deal that's in here, moves the gears around. But when they manufacture these, they don't have no rubber bushing to keep the moisture or rain from going down this shaft, and goes down there and fills your gearbox full, and that moisture sits around that shaft and freezes it up. So we got to get this shaft out. We're gonna have to heat it up, drive it out, clean the shaft up, put it back in there, and then put these two halves back together. There's a thin gasket here in between the two gear casings, the two gear casing halves or shell. We're just going to use some silicone and seal it up that way. But we'll clean all this old grease up the best we can, get it cleaned out, get the water out of there, the rusty old water residue, and then we'll fill this full of grease when we put it back together. So that's our plan. Okay, we got the shift lever shaft driven out there, as you can see right there. We had to drive it out. We had a heck of a time getting it to move. So now my son's using emery cloth and cleaning that up, the pivot point of that shaft. We're getting all the black off of it and the rust. We'll drive it back up in its spot, but we're going to put some anti-seize on it when we get this cleaned up. Now we got it freed up. It turns really easy. That shaft does. So it'll be able to shift the forward and reverse on this tiller. So we're going to get this thing filled up with the grease and get it put back together. Hello everybody. We had to stop this project. Ran into a small issue. We finally got that shaft driven out and got it all cleaned up and put anti-seize on it and stuff. But then we have another shaft and a gear that's all rusty and froze up. I'll show that to you really quick. Right there it is. I cleaned some of the rust off. I just took actually a long screw is what I had, and I scraped some of this rust off. As you can see, there's some rust built in between them splines, but I'm gonna have to soak this in something. That gear is supposed to slide back and forth on this shaft. It should be able to come back and forth, and of course, as you can tell, it's froze. It's all rusty. This washer's rusted in place. That's just a washer there on the end. Right there is a washer on the end, but I got to make it where this thing will slide back and forth on these splines. So that's where I am on this project. We're gonna have to get that freed up, and once I get that freed up, we'll get the the gearbox put back together, which is basically the whole main body of the tiller. But once I get this freed up and able to put that thing back together, I'll show you how it works, I guess. This will be part 1. I'll have to do a part 2 video. So I'll let you guys go for now. Don't forget I love you. See y'all later. Bye.